a Lone Star Lamb, with boots on my feet and dreams in my hand. A little sassy but a whole lot of grace. You'll see that fire when you look at my face. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. From the blue bonnet fields to the city streets, every step I take feels like home to me. With a little sass and a lot of pride, this Texas girl's got nothing to hide. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright.
Gummy shoe prints, laid them down the street. Chocolate wrappers hiding secrets sweet. They don't miss a beat, they've got a knack. With licorice ropes pulling answers back. Twist the wrapper to reveal the truth. A sticky web spun by a candy sloop. No sour lies can escape the grip. These lollipops always crack.
Sebastian, sweet boy, where have you gone? The sun sets low, but we keep marching on. The wind whispers your name soft through the pines, a melody aching in these hearts of mine. Roads are endless, the nights are cold, but your story's a light we'll never let go. Where are you, sweet boy Sebastian? We're searching the hills, the rivers, the plains. You deserve better, oh you deserve better. And your army is fighting through heartache and pain. Your laughter once rang like bells through the air. Now silence just lingers, it's more than we can bear. We carry your memory, a flag in our hands. Through shadows and valleys, through shifting sands. The roads are endless, the nights are cold, but your story's a light we'll never let go. Where are you, sweet boy Sebastian? We're searching the hills, the rivers, the plains. You deserve better. Oh, you deserve better. And your army is fighting through heartache and pain. Your laughter once rang through heartache and pain.
Well, hello, my friends. How are y'all doing? Thank you so much for being here today with us. I appreciate you so much. Hope everybody's having a good day, had a great weekend, and started your new week out good. Hello, Daniel, Blue Eyes, Keely, hello, Cecilia. Cecilia, you stay warm, girl. Take care of yourself. Everybody's getting sick, it seems like. Hey, Holly. Hey, TJ. Michelle, how are you? Lori, hello there. Let's see who else we got with us. Miss Rhonda, hello. Hello, I'm out. How you doing? So good to have you. Let's see here. Jacqueline, hello to you. Lisa King, hello, beautiful. Let's see here. Hey, Teresa. Good to have you. Victoria, hello there. So glad you made it. Hey, Texas Plain Jane. Hope you're staying warm on your side of the state over there. My goodness. It is getting cold in Texas, y'all. Kai, good to have you with us. Let's see here. Let me scroll through. Try not to miss anybody. Daisy Duke's always good to have you with us. Lori, big hugs to you, my sweet friend. I tell you, family pets, they're just like one of your kids. And I am so sorry you've had to go through that. Sending you big hugs, my friend. Trishy, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas. So good to have you with us. Hey, Pooh Bear. Good to see you. Let's see. Anybody else sneaking in? Victoria, hello. All righty, guys. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all so much. I lost a little gutter as storms rolled through. Oh, goodness. Tell you what. I was sitting here last night, and yesterday I wore like a little summer dress, had the little spaghetti straps to it. I was barefooted. If I went downstairs or whatever, put on a little pair of sandals. Had my hair pulled up because it was hot. And then I'm sitting here, and about 8 o'clock last night, the wind started blowing, and I was looking for a pair of socks because my feet were getting cold. Next thing you know, I'm in a hoodie, and I was all bundled up. It went from 78 degrees down to 47 within like less than an hour. I was like, good golly, man, oh man. So I know anybody who lives north of Texas, y'all probably getting way worse than us here, but my goodness, where did the weather come from? Hey, Kelly, how you doing? Hey, Mama. That's Texas weather for you, right, Plain Jane? Yeah, my best friend lives over in Abilene, and I was talking to her, and she was talking about how cold she was, and she said, has it got to y'all yet? And I was like, oh no, girl, I'm sitting here with my hair pulled up in a ponytail and got this little summer dress on, and she's like, I am like all warm and bundled up under a blanket. I'm like, oh my gosh, we live in the same state. Texas is a little bipolar for sure. But hey, Peggy. Hello, hello. Thank you all for being here. I really, really appreciate it. You got snow yesterday, Victoria? How fun. I love snow. It is the most beautiful thing to ever experience, I think. It's amazing to see it snowing. I just love it. To me, it's very magical. We had wind and rain in Cali for a few days, but glad we're out. Oh, good. Yes, I forget you're over there. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm glad I didn't know because then I'd have been worried about you the whole time. But I'm glad you're safe, Trishy. I was watching all that. Man, California had some bad flooding going on. Mudslides, too. Man, that is one thing in this world that I don't think any human could ever fight against, and that is weather conditions. It's just crazy the way the weather can turn and flip and totally destroy all in just a few minutes. But well, glad to have y'all. Glad everybody here is safe. Holly said, I just got back from California. It was rainy, then boom, sun. Almost like being back home, huh, Holly? You never know. Never know around these parts. My goodness. Sorry I did not come on yesterday. My youngest granddaughter spent all day up here with me yesterday. She had to tell me every detail of everything she did while she was gone for Christmas to her great grandmother's house. And we laughed. We giggled. She was just so much fun. And before I knew it, time was just gone. So, those are times that you just don't get to do over sometimes. Oh, Holly, I'm telling you, I have some friends that live down around that area, and it was very scary. People that lived high up off of the river, but right close to it, had water coming in their homes. It just amazed me how fast that water did, but it's not the first time and it won't be the last time, unfortunately. And a lot of people don't realize those rivers down here in Texas, a lot of them come from up north. So any amount of large rain up north is going to push it down and it will flood. So DJ says in January, I actually get to go to Sumner County, Texas, to visit my cousin and her husband and son. How fun, DJ. Cool. Well, guys, so the last live we did, we were going over the timeline. Today, we're going to go over it some more and go through all the things. We made it to like March. So much has happened in this case. But if we look at the words that are said and put out by law enforcement during this timeline, I think we can start seeing a little bit of an outline and a pattern of things. And so we're going to continue on with that today. We may have to make it a 3-parter, but we're going to finish this whole timeline process because it is really big and important when it comes to Sebastian's case. And I am putting some stuff together. I'll continue it tonight, and then maybe tomorrow we can combine it with Sebastian's stream. But there is a girl in San Antonio that is missing, and I want to cover her case. And as just to kind of update for everybody, our bayou unaliver that they believe is possible is at it again. There have been more bodies found in the Houston bayous and a few other ones that they are starting to question, are they linked together? So we're going to cover that again as the days, go on. But once again, year number 2 for Christmas holiday break, and Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is nowhere to be found. Young man that his huge, beautiful smile captured all of our hearts. And we can only do as much as we can do, but we're going to do our very best to try to piece some things together. Of course, everybody has their theories and their versions, and it's all good, all respected. But what we can use for facts is what law enforcement is telling us. Hey, Lolo. And yet, the mother and the stepfather and the words they've told us, and all the different versions of one story that they continue to tell and change and twist it up and all the things. And you put all those things together, you got questions. You got questions that they're very important. Very, very important. And so I'm going to go ahead and share this with y'all right now. Let me get this pulled up here. Here we go. This is where we left off here. And I'm going to read from the top, and then we'll start and go over Friday, March 8th. But on March the 4th, guys, we're talking day 7. Okay? Day 7 from the time he was reported missing. We're at March the 4th. Still haven't heard from any parents. They have not spoken out to the public. The law enforcement had told early on that, the parents are too distraught to speak with the public at this time. I think it had more to do, and this is just my opinion, but I believe Mr. Chris did not want his address, his home, and all of their information put out there because he knew what was coming. But that's just an opinion I have. But on day 7, March the 4th of 2024, the search effort was scaled back as initial leads had been exhausted. Every lead they had, every lead that they received had been looked into, and yet Sebastian at this point, nothing at all pointed to the whereabouts of him. Investigators expanded their efforts, crossing state lines to search a Kentucky landfill. Thursday, March 7th, 2024, authorities conducted a search at the Hopkins County Regional Landfill in White Plains, Kentucky. The search was described as a precautionary measure to eliminate possible options and questions. Makes you wonder, what is it that they were looking for? Local news footage showed a white tarp covering part of the landfill while officers sifted through the trash. Officials noted that Sebastian's family had been cooperative throughout the investigation. At this point, sure, they're being cooperative. If we see all that activity happening at 3 o'clock in the morning behind their home, over into the construction area, leading into the cemetery area, and all the things that we're finding, yeah, they're cooperating. They got rid of everything. Any evidence whatsoever has been discarded. And once again, that's my opinion. So then we go into Friday, March 8th. Listen to these words when it comes to the landfill. It says, no evidence related to missing teen found at landfill. No evidence related to Sebastian was found at the Kentucky landfill. I wonder if they were looking for Sebastian at that point. I wonder if they were looking for him, anything that could have been done to him, any evidence pertaining to that. The search for evidence related to the disappearance of Sebastian at the Kentucky landfill yielded negative results. While the search for Rogers continues, the search at Hopkins County, Kentucky landfill is over after exhausted efforts, listen close, to find any evidence that would help find the missing 15-year-old with autism. Guys, if you read that and you read it again and you really hear the words that are being said, they didn't say they didn't find anything. They just said after exhaustive efforts to find any evidence that would help find the missing 15-year-old. I guess if things were found that they could tie back to the house, would not have helped find Sebastian. But I don't see, after reading that paragraph where it states clearly that no, nothing was ever found, nothing related to their home, nothing related to their family, nothing related to anything, about Sebastian. It just says, while the search for Rogers continues, the search at the Kentucky landfill is over after exhaustive efforts to find any evidence that would help find the missing 15-year-old. Tells me possibly they found things. It just won't lead them to where Sebastian is. Friday, March 15th, the TBI released a statement in order to preserve the integrity of the investigation. We cannot discuss many of the specifics surrounding the case, but we know how many people care about Sebastian and what has been done and is still being done to bring him home. Also, we want to caution the public about putting too much stock into information being presented in various media forms that is inaccurate or incomplete and could be damaging to the investigation. Guys, that right there for me is huge, because they're telling us basically, oh, we can't tell you what we got. We can't tell you the things we know. But we know that you want to stay up to date on this case, basically. And they want you to be cautious and don't put too much stock in information being presented in various media forms that is inaccurate, incomplete, and could damage or be damaging to the investigation. What's to say that they're not talking about Katie and Chris speaking out? Because at this point, Katie and Chris, they done started speaking. They started speaking back out on day 8, March 5th. And by the 15th, we've already heard multiple versions of multiple things that they've said that don't make no sense. That leads us a whole different thought process and possibilities and all those things. No. But it does make you wonder. Because all we had to go by is what law enforcement was telling us and what his parents were telling us. So, March 21st, 2024, acting on a tip, Seth organized a search at Natchez Trace State Park, approximately 100 miles from Sumner County. Despite thorough efforts, the search did not yield any new information. Thursday, March 21st, acting on a tip, Seth organized the search. Okay, so it didn't do anything. There was nothing there. Friday, the 22nd, 2024, TBI released a statement. Much of the work being done to track down information about where Sebastian may have gone is not something you will necessarily see in the public. So here we are again, where they're reassuring us they're doing things, but we may not see everything. But we want you to know that every day work is being done to find Sebastian. Special agents and intelligence analysis continue to go over and review information that has been collected since the search for Sebastian began. They also continue to follow up on tips and leads as they come in. To date, more than 240 tips have been provided through the tips to TBI at tbi.tn.gov email and the 1-800-TBI Find Tip hotline. It's a lot of tips, guys. That's a lot of tips. It's just shy of 4 weeks, and 240 tips had been sent in. Saturday, the 23rd, the United Cajun Navy, a volunteer search and rescue organization, joined the search efforts for Sebastian. Friday, March 29th, the United Cajun Navy withdrew from the search, citing threats made to volunteers as the reason for suspending operations. 6 days, guys. 6 days is all it took for the threats to hit and focus in on the United Cajun Navy, the group that had just participated and helped find Riley Strain in Nashville, Tennessee, not far from their home. They come over and lend a hand. One of the best investigative teams out there. They know what they're doing. They can do so much, have so much knowledge. And guys, within 6 days, threats made to volunteers. I've seen a statement since then where the director of the United Cajun Navy has spoke out and said, out of all the cases that we have handled and covered and worked with and volunteered our time and effort into helping, not one time have any of us ever been threatened. It's sad though when you've got other teams that you know, speaking out on the YouTube streets and all the things, but they talk really, I don't know, hallucinating, like maybe about how there were no threats ever made, how people weren't getting pushed out, threatened. None of that was real. Yes, it was, folks. It was very, very real. We listened not too long ago about Evil, CJ, and Trey with narc divers out searching in the landfill. I mean, the construction area and into the cemetery area, all through that space. Get in their car to leave after a car had been driving around watching very closely. And the whole serpentine belt, the whole huge belt that operates your entire mechanics under your hood, makes your car run. It was missing. Threats have been made. People have been having things messed with. And here, the United Cajun Navy was only on Sebastian's case for 6 days. Hey, Felicia. Little Miss Sharon. Laura, how you doing? Hey, Kiki. Everybody that's come in, welcome. And thank you so much for being here. So there we go. 6 days, the United Cajun Navy came in, did what they could, and the threats, they left. They left. On Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024, Eric Craddock Presser says investigation ongoing with local and federal resources. Encouraging community to stay vigilant no matter how small you think it is. Understand anxiety and concern caused in the community. We're doing everything we can despite the passage of time. TBI speaking says he has not been forgotten. No one has given up looking for him. They talk about the vast land search, air search, ponds. Even though this search isn't viable, the search is not done. Good old-fashioned police work. You know, it's really sad. But during all this time of searching, all these efforts that were put in and made, nothing was found. Working with other jurisdictions on complex cases, trying to get advice, and Secret Service have been helpful with reviewing. Do you read that last line? Secret Service have been helpful with reviewing. Wow. Secret Service, guys. Oh, hang on. Let me see if I can get it to. Hold on. I don't know how it all got out of order, but it got out of order. Hold on. Here we go. Parents have been cooperative. They've done pretty much everything we have asked. Sure, why not? Everything's already gone. Why not cooperate? I hope they cooperated more with law enforcement than they have as they've been out on these social media platforms speaking about their missing child, son, and stepson. Come on already, because they give us this persona of a young Sebastian Rogers. They give us this persona of this child that's just a little bit of a banshee, you know. That's what my granny always says. Someone who is busy, all up in your bubble, active, and not quite age appropriate. And so they put out this version of Sebastian. Then they put out the young pictures of Sebastian. They tell us a timeline that they themselves contradicted each other within the first 3 minutes, the very first time they spoke. No set timeline. Stories trying to convince us, oh, that's just a trash truck. But yet, two lights go two different ways and one goes to the back of their home. No. But by golly, they tried hard, didn't they? Oh, then the next version came. Well, it was a trash truck up on the hill over there, not the one driving here in our neighborhood. It was on the other neighborhood that's at an elevated distance. Still, no. Lights on a vehicle do not separate, and one light does not go to your back door. Sorry. But no. Then their private investigator, you know, he comes in and tells us, oh, well, what it is actually is a man taking his trash out to the road, and he happened to have a flashlight. Well, why didn't he go out his garage and down his driveway? And how did his one flashlight become two flashlights in a courtyard area? So, no, again, right? I mean, this is what we've had to deal with. They set the narrative, they've put these things in place. So, yeah, they're cooperating. They're telling anybody whatever they want to. Now, do I believe they're actually cooperating and giving 100% truth? Oh, hell no. No. Said right now, they don't have leads to lead to criminal investigation. Now, guys, mind you, this is from April 2nd, 2024. Right now, they don't have leads to lead to criminal investigation. Cautioning social media on what they share. They want people to use caution so it doesn't damage investigation. This is taking away time from agencies. 314 tips through the tip line. So here we have no leads yet to lead to criminal investigation, but yet it became a criminal investigation, is what they said earlier. But, you know, okay, so you don't have leads yet that's going to point to one person, or you haven't got that lead verified to point to one person. But social media, once again, comes into play. They don't want to damage the investigation. So is that their way of telling us? Read this one little paragraph at the top there, guys. Is this their way of telling us back off of that 3 a.m. thing because they already have people looking into it and they don't want to damage the investigation? Because Craddock said it was of no evidentiary value, and when Nick Burroughs added, "Can you tell us what it is?" he said no, because it is an active investigation. Did they already know things? But yet they couldn't say because they didn't want to damage the case? I don't know, guys. I can't speak for them, but that's kind of what I'm reading into this part here. Goes on to say there's no evidence of foul play, but they aren't ruling it out either. Nothing has been found to lead us to Sebastian. Read those words again, real good. There's no evidence of foul play, but they aren't ruling it out. Nothing has been found to lead us to Sebastian. So is that two sentences? Is that basically telling us at April 2nd, at that time, they hadn't received any information leading to foul play, but they aren't ruling it out? Are they still looking into things? Are they still looking into different pieces of evidence to see if there is something that can lead them to foul play? And then to go on and say nothing has been found to lead us to Sebastian. Well, wouldn't you think if they had found something that would take them directly to where Sebastian Rogers is, we wouldn't be sitting here today? But it doesn't say they don't have anything. I mean, you have to look at that broader picture. Surely they have something. Surely they're still working on things. But all the things that they have has not led them to be able to find Sebastian. It was asked, have you ruled out mom and stepdad and verified their alibi? Eric Craddock replies, they have been nothing but cooperative. Doesn't answer the question. Because the question was, have you ruled out mom and stepdad and verified their alibi? Eric Craddock replies, they have been nothing but cooperative. That doesn't tell me that they've ruled them out. It doesn't tell me that they haven't ruled them out. It doesn't tell me that their alibis have been verified. It's not what that's saying. He did not answer that question. Eric Craddock says he's received no police reports regarding threats to the United Cajun Navy. The United Cajun Navy is independent. They have not contacted us. We are grateful they printed flyers. Eric Craddock keeps reiterating there's no evidence of foul play. So let's think about that, guys. No evidence of foul play. If there is no evidence that anything happened, anything went wrong, anything out of the ordinary, if there's no evidence, then the main question becomes, how the hell did Sebastian Rogers disappear? Is this something that we've kind of overlooked for a while, as far as there's no evidence of foul play, but yet there's a missing 15-year-old boy with nothing that leads us as to how he left that home? So we go back to the question, how did Sebastian leave that home? Or did he ever make it home? I know, Michelle. If there's no evidence, why not turn to cold case then? Exactly. I'm just wondering if that is, and guys, like I said, I have gone back and started all this timeline process, looked through it, pulled up those, different press conferences and things, listened to the words, watched their reactions, those kind of things, and tried my best to think outside the box, because the path we've been on is frustrating because nothing's happening, right? But there's no evidence of foul play. But yet we know the front door did not open for him to walk out. We know there was no sighting at all of Sebastian on any video surveillance within that whole entire neighborhood. We know there was no scent of Sebastian leaving his home. So how did he leave his home, leave no evidence of any foul play whatsoever, and has been gone all this time, and he's a 15-year-old autistic young man? How has he alone pulled off this perfect escape? I'm wondering if that last part of that sentence is basically telling us things were too perfect. Things were laid out too perfectly for law enforcement to, when they came in and looked around and checked into all the stuff, there's nothing. Because maybe he didn't make it home? I don't know. Or maybe, like we've said before, the option is there. He arrived home. They went into the garage, shut the garage door. You can't verify he came home. You can't verify that he didn't come home. And the only time that car leaves, according to law enforcement, is the next morning, while Katie's driving like a banshee with her windows up, saying she's looking for her child. Was he in that car? Is that how he got out of that house? I don't know, guys. I'm putting thoughts out here. That's it. So Wednesday, April 3rd, TBI special agents are joining investigators with the Sumner County Sheriff Office and law enforcement agencies from surrounding counties to conduct another thorough search in the Long Hollow Pike area in reference to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Additionally, we have been made aware that an altered version of the official TBI Amber Alert poster has been made and is being circulated throughout social media, indicating that this new poster has been verified. Folks, who's going to do that? Who's going to go and alter Tennessee Bureau of Investigations Amber Alert poster? As far as my opinion, that was just the beginning of the things that people related into this case have felt privileged enough to go and take care of and redo and rework and put out there as facts. Said, please, is being posted through multiple social media channels. The posters our agency has developed and is using here, and there is a link. Please, guys, if you want the official Amber Alert poster, go to the TBI website, pull it from the website, screenshot it, whatever you need to do. But to be official, to stick with the people who know what they're doing when making these posters. Remember how we had this conversation a while back about the reward for the whereabouts of or those responsible for his disappearance? And then all of a sudden it became the whereabouts of. Makes you wonder if that's not what happened there. Let's take off those responsible and just put the whereabouts. Is that what's happening? Is that where those two different descriptions came from? Makes you wonder, right? I mean, we have to question these things. On Wednesday, April 17th, Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, hired private investigators to assist in the search for his son. Wait a minute. We got to find the next one. Here we go. Thursday, April 20th, 2024, TBI special agents continue to review the information gathered since the investigation began. Follow up on all leads or tips that come in and work with counterparts from other law enforcement agencies to review strategies and consider options. The Amber Alert for Sebastian Rogers remains active. Guys, you can go right now yourself and look on that website. And his Amber Alert is still active. It says, we continue to encourage anyone with information to call 1-800-TBI, find or send email to tips@tbi.tn.gov. On Tuesday, May 7th, authorities confirmed that a teenager photographed in North Carolina was not Sebastian, despite earlier speculation. We all know about the photo of the young man at Grandfather Mountain. You've heard our Blue Eyes herself talk about her experience with that whole timeline and story of, is it Sebastian, is it not Sebastian? Seth said, that's very much looks like my son. His mother's crying on the phone to Blue Eyes saying, that's my son, that's my son, while Mr. Chris reassures her, you know that's not him. So how would Mr. Chris know? How is it that Katie is supposed to know that's not him? Just putting that out there. Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. Seth Rogers called for the FBI to take over the investigation, expressing concerns about the case becoming a cold case. May 21st, 2024. Sebastian's father is asking for for the FBI to take over the investigation. Guys, we're on December 29th, 2025, and the FBI still has not taken over. On Monday, August 26th of 2024, FBI Memphis Field Office, Nashville Resident Agency announced the offer of a reward of up to $50,000 for information leading to the location and return of Sebastian, or to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. Guys, read that again. Look at that. Monday, August 26th, the FBI Memphis Field Office, the Nashville Resident Agency announced the offer of a reward up to $50,000 for information leading to the location and return of Sebastian, or to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. Folks, that right there is plain as day. The FBI wants Sebastian returned. They want the arrest and conviction of those responsible for his disappearance. Remember when we said the parents were cooperating? Sure, cooperate. Yeah, we're cooperating, doing whatever they need. Sure, come on in, look again. Because now we can only assume that some of that activity the night before and the night of the time where he went missing was to dispose and clean house and scrub floors and walls and all the things. We can only assume. On December of 2024, there was an update. Sumner County Sheriff Eric Craddock emphasized that the case is not considered cold. It's not a cold case. It's an active and ongoing investigation. Sheriff Craddock highlighted that investigators meet weekly to review progress and that certain information is withheld to protect the integrity of the investigation. it tells us right here they meet weekly to review progress and that certain information is withheld to protect the integrity of the investigation. Have they had information all along? Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder, what do they have? He also addresses the challenges posed by misinformation on social media, urging the community to rely on verified facts. Verified facts. Sadly, some of those verified facts are put out. Hang on, let me find this next one. Some of those verified facts coming from the mother, the stepfather, because they create their own timeline, guys. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the right one. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Hold on. Da, 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 da. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. I am sorry. I don't know how all this got so out of whack. Kiki, thank you. And who was it earlier that sent me something? Da, 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 da. I appreciate y'all. I'm on a different page, so it's hard for me to flip back over. I'll lose my whole complete place here. But thank y'all so much for the super chats. Okay, call me tonight, Kiki, for sure. And let's keep going till we can find this page, because we're going to get to... Come on. Y'all, I know I passed it because it's only... These are the only things I have in here. I'm looking for February 25th, 2025. That's 24. Lord help it. I wonder if I didn't put that one in there. Okay, I'm going to read these to you, I guess. February 26th. Of 2025 marks 1 year since the 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers was reported missing from his Sumner County home. That morning, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office issued a missing persons report to begin efforts to locate Sebastian. The TBI endangered child alert was pushed out, and then it was elevated to a statewide Amber Alert. TBI special agents from multiple units assisted in the search, along with multiple local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, including FBI and Secret Service. Goes on to say the TBI continues to assist with Sumner County Sheriff's Office in the investigation. While to date, there have been no confirmed sightings of Sebastian. Efforts to locate him have not ceased. As part of the continued investigations, officials developed information that while Sebastian was reported, listen close, folks, that while Sebastian was reported missing on February 26, 2024, the last time he was confirmed to have been seen was February 25th, 2024. The Amber Alert posters and FBI reward posters have been updated to reflect that information and are posted below. They're telling us right here, after all of their investigation for a whole entire year, all the digital, all the little tips coming in, all the things that they have looked at, verified, all the stuff, there have been no confirmed sightings of Sebastian. And the last time he was confirmed to have been seen was February 25th. Folks, the last sighting of Sebastian Rogers was when his mother was driving away with him. It goes on to say, I understand that people want answers and I share the community concern for Sebastian, says Craddock. However, I urge everyone to rely on verified information from law enforcement and not online speculation. That is a very hard thing to do because a lot of us don't seem to be able to trust too much law enforcement because nothing is being done, so it seems to us. I mean, as far as we're concerned, this is cut and dry. His mother had him in her car, never to be seen again. Hello, Katie, duh. Her husband is an abuser. We've pretty much been told that by him. Sebastian got a belt because he forgot to put on a belt. I mean, come on. Very easy for us to say that, but I guess law enforcement only has one shot at this and they got to do everything to make it stick. Would really suck if they got charged and it got thrown out, or they had no evidence enough to prove that they were guilty and they walked. And then later the evidence is staring you right in the face. You can't go back and recharge. Yeah, Nina and her children. Look at that. I mean, it's all out there for us to see. Of course, we see it one way. Others see it a completely different way. And yet it's the same thing. I will never understand how that's possible. And so let's see here. So then we're going to go on to here. Let me get over here because y'all are going to enjoy this one. Let me get to it. Here we go. So the FBI released an update, case rumors versus reality. This is part of their update in 2025. Guys, we see with our own eyes. We're not stupid. We can see that there are two separate light sources moving around the courtyard area behind the Proudfoot's home. We see it. We see one go all the way back, all the way to what looks like the back of the Proudfoot home. We don't see a trash truck going through the community. We're not stupid. We do know that those lights do not separate off of a trash truck and go different directions. Just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen at all. But it does say a house down the street from Sebastian has security video footage from the night of the disappearance. The camera angled in a direction that happened to be facing Sebastian's backyard captured two small moving lights. At first glance, the lights appeared to be right in Sebastian's backyard, suggesting someone was lurking with two flashlights in hand, a potential suspect given Sebastian's disappearance that night. Let's read that again. Listen up real close, friends, because it says at first glance, the lights appeared to be right in Sebastian's backyard, suggesting that should be capitalized in bold letters, suggesting someone was lurking with two flashlights in hand, a potential suspect given Sebastian's disappearance that same night. Is that all that was? Is that all it was? Someone in the backyard walking around? Oh, and then let Katie throw in the fact that there's a small flashlight missing from their home? And hey, let's make it look like Sebastian, one of his buddies, is sneaking out. Is that what that was about? Was that their whole intention? I don't know, guys. It says, however, when law enforcement further investigated the video, they disproved this theory. The dark sky and camera angle combined had distorted the security footage. When they examined the video in relation to the topography of the area, they found that the lights were actually coming from a pair of truck headlights, flickering through the trees from a street atop a hill about 300 yards. Let me stop right there. If y'all don't follow Rich and Ruby, go follow the one where he did the headlight comparison video. Not the same, folks. Not the same at all. From the angle that truck would have had to, or car would have had to been on the top of that 300, hill up there, 300 yards away, those lights would have had to burn through brick homes, wood, solid wood trees, and other structures to make it all the way from the end of Stafford Court, 300 yards up to where the corner of Stafford and Kellen video footage came from. Those lights couldn't have penetrated through all of that. It's not possible. But this is what they tell us. Law enforcement further investigated to confirm that the flashlights were actually headlights. They also created an overlay of the security footage in daylight with a topographic map In the daylight, it would have been clear that the lights were coming from the hill. Put a 1 in chat if you think this is a BS story. Well, no, never mind. Everybody would have a 1. How about let's put a 1 in chat if you think, did law enforcement lie to us intentionally to keep information closer to them, as if, hey, we didn't find nothing here? Is that possible? Yeah, I know, right, Retha? Not sure, but I mean, it I suppose could be possible. Me and you says no. I think they have nothing. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. I don't believe that story that I read. I really don't. That's just my opinion. And I'm never going to push that theory because I honestly don't believe it. I don't see it. I don't even see the reality of how that could even happen. It's just crazy to me. So, the person in the green hoodie theory. Here we go. The person in the good green hoodie theory. A video surfaced of Sebastian and Katie in the parking lot of the local restaurant they visited the night Sebastian disappeared. In the video, a person in a green hoodie briefly interacts with Katie. Suspicions arose that in this short interaction, the person in the green hoodie was planning something with Katie related to Sebastian's disappearance. Law enforcement spoke with employees at the restaurant who confirmed this person in the green hoodie was a frequent customer and helped identify them. Law enforcement went to meet this person who happened to be wearing the same green hoodie in the video and confirmed they were not a suspect. I'm sorry, folks. That's what they tell us. That's what they tell us. Hey, Pink Warrior, thank you for being here for 11 months. Oh my gosh. Oh, we love you. Thanks for being here. And thanks for being part of our family for that long. We love you so big. But guys, when it comes to the green hoodie, a person doesn't casually walk between your car and another car after coming out of some bushes and happen to just stand there for almost 2 minutes. Almost 2 minutes just stand between your car and the car beside you. I'm sorry, that's a little sus. A little sus. Sure, maybe that person's been in there before. It's a small town. They all live around there. So, hey, sure, probably they've been in there before. That person can say, hey, no, I wasn't there. I mean, I agree, me and you. It's almost as if you can physically see an exchange being made. Why would that person stand there for 2 minutes almost and have a brief encounter with Katie Proudfoot herself, the woman who drove away with her child, had her child in her car when he was last seen, his last known sighting. Her, that lady driving that car, his mother, had a conversation with this person and what looked to be like an exchange. Sorry, but that makes them suspicious in my eyes. It's what it looks like. Could we be wrong? Yes. Yes, we could. But what we see from that video footage, whatever was going on between Katie and Green Hoodie, there is some sort of loudness to it that makes the yellow jacket guy and the Texas Roadhouse temp worker guy both turn same time, same location, and look to see what's happening. So yeah, Green Hoodie, that whole moment and exchange and interaction, just a little too sus for my taste. I just can't go with the fact that, oh no, it's all good. It's all good. I just don't think so. But then again, I mean, I'm not the investigators. It's just my opinion because I wasn't there. So investigation, forensics, and polygraph. Let's go here. I mean, we're out of order again. Let's go back that way. Here we go. Forensics and polygraph. Sebastian Rogers had only a handful of saved contacts in his phone. Isn't that sad? 15-year-old kid. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, my granddaughter that is 12 received her phone. She got more contacts in her phone than I do. And I got a lot of work contacts that I've had for years and years and years and years. But my granddaughter's got more contacts in her phone. But Sebastian only had a handful of saved contacts in his phone. After he disappeared, investigators reviewed his call records and allegedly discovered an outgoing call to a phone that wasn't saved. Who made a call from Sebastian's phone? What number was called? You see, Sebastian's phone, Katie and Seth both told us, was left on the countertop charging. Conveniently for some, I would say, because, there would be no digital forensics should he have been dropped off somewhere. But Brandon Carter tells us when he got there that morning, Sebastian's phone was on the kitchen table along with his wallet. So who's lying here? Who's telling us the story? Oh, wait. Could it be that someone there in that home that morning got Sebastian's phone off of that counter, used it, then laid it on the kitchen table? Just asking. Because, folks, those are things that have been put out to us between his parents and law enforcement. And none of it matches. And when things don't add up, somebody needs to be asking more questions. All phones were forensically imaged. Katie and Chris took a polygraph with TBI. But yet on Nancy Grace, he said, no, they told me I didn't have to. Remember? They told Chris he didn't have to because he had an alibi. An alibi that nobody but just his good buddy can confirm, right? Because the people he works with told us a whole different type of story. But they both took a polygraph. Did they pass it? Somebody please tell us yes or no. Did Katie and Chris Proudfoot pass their polygraph with TBI? Anyways, Seth Rogers has not taken a TBI administered polygraph. Seth told us in his words, and that's what we have to go by when it comes to that. He said he has offered, and they told him there was no reason needed for him to take a polygraph with them. So, yep. TJ says, but remember, Edgar told us it's easy to pass a polygraph, especially when you're trained through the military for those kind of things. Just saying. I know, right, Ceci? He hadn't been cleared, but they don't need a polygraph from him. I'm not sure. There's so much to this that it's frustrating. And so we just keep asking the question. Search warrants were served for all properties. A search warrant we know was served at Seth's home day one, or not so much a search warrant, but was asked, can we search his home? Yes, he says he takes them. They search his home one time. One time. Took the electronics and everything that one time. Katie and Chris's house has been searched multiple times. November 24th, 2025, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office issued a public statement addressing a photograph that circulated online on November 23rd, 2025. The image was shared of a possible sighting of missing 14-year-old Sebastian Rogers. After review, investigators confirmed that the juvenile shown in the photograph is not Sebastian. I would like to know how they went about confirming it's not Sebastian. You know, I got questions, guys. I got questions. I'm like, y'all, I have questions. I want to know, how can you say those things? How can you confirm those things? I'm out. I think you are 100% on the mark with that one. I really do. I mean, yeah, sure, come search. There ain't nothing here. Everything was taken away, cleaned up, or never happened there. Yeah, something. It says key details. A photograph appearing online was reviewed by investigators. The sheriff's office confirmed that an individual is not Sebastian. The agency reminded the public to report all credible sightings or information immediately. Not that I know of, Cecilia. But, make sure you report it immediately. But yet, the lead investigator with Sebastian's case early on says, that's not the kind of information we're looking for. So how do we know what to report? How do we know what you're looking for? That's another question. Oh, Daniel, that's sweet of you. Look into it. Google it. See if you can do it. See what the law is there. And then it goes on to say agency Statement. The sheriff's office reaffirmed its ongoing commitment to locating Sebastian and continues active investigative efforts. If you have any information concerning the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers, please contact the Sumner County Sheriff's Office at 615-451-3838 or the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-TBI-FIND or tips to TBI at tbi.tn.gov. You may also contact your local FBI office, the nearest American embassy or consulate, or you can submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. And so it says to continue to share Sebastian's official missing persons flyer and don't wait, said Sheriff Craddock. If you see anything, say something immediately. If you call right then, we can get someone on the hot trail. Let's see. Let's go. Hold on. Got to find the next one. Sorry, guys. I thought I had it all in order. Let's see here. Announcement on November 24th, 2025. Local community advocates and Culvers will host a birthday party or a birthday awareness event. This just recently happened. It is a blessing that the community is still helping to spread awareness. Sebastian will be 17, or he did turn 17 on December 7th, and his favorite drink from Culver's is chocolate malt, extra malt, something he and his poppy used to get. We're grateful and thankful for spreading awareness, and the FBI flyer are the most effective thing we can do, and we thank everyone willing to help keep Sebastian's name and face out there so we can bring our son home. I agree, Cecilia. I think Texas Rangers would have already been hot on that trail. Hot on the trail. Okay, here we go. This is dated November 21st, 2025 for immediate release. Eric Craddock Sheriff, Thomas Greer Chief Deputy, Sheriff Sumner County. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office is aware of a photograph that began circulating on 11/23/2025 as a possible sighting of missing juvenile Sebastian Rogers. The juvenile depicted in the photograph is not Sebastian. This is where this statement was put out. Hang tight. Let me get to the next one. Sorry, guys. Some days I think I got it all together, and sometimes I surprise myself and don't. It said the November 21st, 2025, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office issued a public statement addressing a photograph, the exact same thing that we just heard, all the things pertaining to the photograph that got circulated. As you can see, they were all over this one picture. I'm showing all this in order that it's there. But it seemed very important, and this is just an observation I had, but it seemed very important to debunk this one individual picture. They talked about Grandfather Mountain sighting, and when they had that sighting up there of him, they didn't debunk it as much as they did on this one. Okay. Is he on? Is he on, Kiki? Has he started? Oh, okay. Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, if y'all haven't kept up with the mob crew and what they're doing, please, 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 please. Um, okay. Okay, Kiki, thank you. I'll check into it. Please go check it out, because between him and Silvers and the reenactments and all the things they're doing with the cemetery and the construction area over there the night before and the night of, guys, there's activity happening. Vehicles driving around the cemetery in the middle of the night. Hey, Retha Bell. Thanks for listening to us. So yeah, definitely make sure to check that out for sure, because man. Um, let me see here. Okay. Guys, we're going to stop the timeline here. Tomorrow we will finish it up because we still have several other pages. And there's a lot more. A lot of things that are being said here that make you question some more things, make you wonder, what exactly do they have? And like I said, I wanted to show all these little pieces to this one photo because they were all over debunking this one photo recently. It's crazy how that works, right? Crazy how that works. We'll take it from here and finish, and we'll do a part 3 tomorrow to finish it all up. But I hope y'all have enjoyed this timeline process that we've been going through. And friends, I honestly believe they have had some things. Oh, Kiki, thank you so much. I'm back over here now. I can do that. Thank you so much, Kiki. That is so sweet. We love you. And you get with me. I saw something about you're doing something tomorrow. So yeah, get with me when you can. And if it's today or tomorrow, whichever, but we'll be there to support you because we need to support each other. We need to keep a strong front for each other, with each other, all the things. Because if we don't, we're not doing no good for Sebastian. And that's the sad part. There was a really strong community here in the very beginning for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, all trying to find out, look into, talk about, keep his name, keep his story out here. All of those things. All of those things. And then it all fell apart. Threats started happening. People's families were being affected by it. Hatred began. It spread. It devours all the things. And Sebastian's down to just a handful that continue to talk about his case and ask questions and put thoughts out there and different theories. And what is it that we're missing that could help? And friends, when I talk about helping, I mean any way possible. Most of you that are here has followed the Gabby Petito case. We were all following that close, all of us on different channels together, all the things. We followed that case. A lot of us did. And friends, there was a YouTube family taking a trip, going to a park to park their RV so that they could stay for a day or two. And they had been filming this road trip and forgot they were filming when they realized, wait a minute, that's the area we were in. And I think we might have been filming. And exactly that is what they captured. They captured the space where Gabby Petito and her boyfriend at the time, the very spot where they were camping. The lead up to it shows the van has a place of last known place where they were at to go and look. And it wasn't long after that is when her body was found. And it was all because people happened to be filming for their YouTube channel. Other cases, it has helped. They've, been able to have some help. All these that are missing deserve help. Unfortunately, there's an infiltration of hatred, and it's sad. But we're going to continue. We're going to keep going. We're not going to let anyone stop us. I put out a video on a post today. Go check out that post right before the one I put saying, hey, we're fixing to go live with part 2. But listen to that song. Listen to the words of that song. That should be our anthem. It should be our anthem. Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here tonight with me. I really appreciate your time. I love how you have an open mind and can see things and look at things in all kinds of ways that might be a little uncomfortable, might be a little bit outside the box. But hey, if we can't step outside the box just a little, you're just going to stay boxed in. So that's what we have to learn to do. I appreciate y'all so much. I'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same channel, all the good stuff. I hope you all can join me. And so until then, everybody, love and hugs. See you soon. Bye.